For Mei Yanfang, aka Anita Mui, hard life is normal. Since childhood, she has felt the ups and downs in life. It's because of her family experiencing economic difficulties since left by her beloved father for forever when she was child. Anita Mui herself is the youngest child. Her old brothers, namely Mui Kai Ming and Mui Tak Ming, while her older sister, who 4 years apart from her, named Mei Ai Fang alias An Mui. Anita's family's economic condition became increasingly difficult when the nightclub business run by her mother burned down in a fire. Anita and An, who each of them are still aged 4 years and 8 years, were forced to intervene to find the coffers of money by plunging into a child singer. Besides singing, they also perform Chinese opera as well as sing pop songs, both in the nightclub, art theater, as well as on Mongkok Street in the Kowloon area of Hong Kong where they live. While mom and her 2 brothers are just relaxing, enjoy the hard work of the 2 little girls. Even though she has worked hard to support her family, her mother, Tan Mei Kam, still loves her 2 sons more than her 2 daughters Anita and her sister, An. The difference in mother's love can be judging by the way she treats her children. Her 2 sons can still continue their education, while Anita and her older sister, who at that time still 10 years old and 14 years old, forced to leave school on request by her mother. They were told to work hard as children singer from stage to stage, wandering even into the streets, for the sake of support her family, and finance her 2 brothers' study. But when she enters the age of 15, she is forced to take a year off, on the advice of a doctor, because her busy singing activities in various places make her have vocal cord nodules. During her leave, Anita keeps herself busy by taking art courses together her cousin. After the break, Anita starts appear again as a local singer. Due to symptomatic vocal cord nodules, it seems that Anita has suffered effect, the vocal range, who lowered her voice an octave. Even so, Anita is not enthusiastic. She continues to develop her talent of singing, while making money. Anita's singing talent is becoming known to the public, when she won a competition, called the New Talent Singing Awards, in Hong Kong in 1982. Thanks to her sister Anita's encouragement, she managed to beat more than 3,000 contestants, who participated in the competition. The prize she won was an offer to collaborate on making an album with a local recording company called Capital Artist based in Hong Kong. This Anita's good fortune is the beginning of her career journey to the peak of popularity. Several recorded albums that were released made her name even more soaring. Anita even won Hong Kong Television Radio Award for the top 10 gold song for 2 consecutive years, in 1983 and 1984. This Anita's good fortune is the beginning of her career journey to the peak of popularity. Several recorded albums that were released made her name even more soaring. Anita even won Hong Kong Television Radio Award for the top 10 gold song for 2 consecutive years, in 1983 and 1984. Anita Mui's luck in the music world dragged her into the world of acting. Her second profession as an actress was also no less successful than her singing career. She repeatedly won acting awards at the Hong Kong Film Awards and Changchun Film Festival Golden Deer Awards as Best Actress. It's not only the people of Hong Kong who know the fame of Anita Mui, all levels of society from Asia to the international community also know the name Anita Mui. Along with the rising popularity of Anita, the news media too often reported rumors about Anita, ranging from being accused of using drugs, allegedly having a tattoo on her arm, doing plastic surgery, attempting suicide, having an affair with an actor leading. Even once her name was associated with the death of a leader of the Triads. Triads is a dark organization in mainland China. However, of all the news about Anita, the most horrendous and to be remembered the public is gossip about Love Deep Anita Mui to Andy Lau, a well-known actor too, who until the end of her life was keep on being unrequited love. But who would have thought that Anita's success as the singer and actress does not guarantee Anita's happiness at all. Since childhood, she has been the breadwinner for his mother and brothers who always depend on their financial problems. Anita as a child as well as a sister, of course, Anita can't bear to refuse every time her mother or brother asks for money. Anita willingly will give whatever they ask. Her mother and brother live extravagantly, without ever trying to make money. Their only effort is to blackmail Anita, with the pretext of debt, in which the amount of the debt is engineered, so that the mother and brother get more of the rest of the money. One day in 1998, Anita was asked for 2 million Hong Kong dollars to help her brother, Mui Ki Min, start a pet shop business. Her mother forced Anita to give the money immediately to her brother. Although a little hesitant, but Anita obeyed her mother's request. After Anita gave 2 million Hong Kong dollars to her brother, she didn't hear from her brother again. Even the pet shop business managed by her brother, she didn't know what happened. But not long after that, a group of people came to see Anita, to collect her brother's debt. From there, Anita found out that her brother's pet shop business was bankrupt, and wanted to be in debt for 10 million Hong Kong dollars. Once again, Anita was forced to pay all her debts. Then in 2009, Anita increased because her sister, Anne, died of cervical cancer. Since her sister, who was also her comrade, left her, Anita is like living alone because there is no longer a place to lean on and be trusted. After Anne was buried, her mother acted again by taking advantage of the illness her sister had experienced, namely cervical cancer. Tan Meijin asks for 10 million Hong Kong dollars to Anita, to establish the World Chinese and Wisdom Edition Anti-Cancer Association. Instead of using the money well, Tan Meijin actually used it for personal purposes, including gambling. People's donations were also used by Tan Meijin. Even worse, without asking her permission, she borrowed money abroad on behalf of her daughter Anita Mui. Tan Meijin's bad temper was revealed when several donors came to meet Anita, they asked where the money had been donated from the donors so far. Because the association has been established for years, there is no evidence of a report regarding the disbursement of the donation funds. Anita, who felt responsible, asked her mother nicely, and Majan admitted that she had used the money for her own purposes. Hearing her mother's statement, Anita was very angry, and asked why she could do this lightly, and Majan replied that all the money she used was solely to help Anita throws shit. Even though her mother's answer was not accepted by Anita, she still loved her mother, who has used her time and time again. And Majan has even boasted to the media that her daughter was not devoted to her as a child. Anita can only silently hide all the anger into her own heart. Then a few years later, to be exact in 2003, Anita was hit again after hearing the doctor's diagnosis stated that she was suffering cervical cancer like her sister, and Anita was treated at a well-known hospital in Osaka, Japan. While in treatment, Anita called her mother to tell her condition at that time. Instead of worrying about her daughter's condition, Majan even asked about Anita's estimated remaining life, and about the legacy she would leave behind. She even told Anita to immediately make a will which must be passed on to her mother. Hearing her mother's words, Anita was very sad. She had held back agonizing pain in the hospital herself. The mother, instead of paying attention, instead asked for a will. It was then that Anita really realized that her mother thought of her as nothing more than a cash machine. After Anita was allowed to return home, she immediately returned to Hong Kong to take care of her will. In the letter, Anita distributed most of her wealth to her trusted people, namely her fashion designer, Eddie Lau, who received 2 of Anita's properties, and to her nephews and nieces. Its remaining assets worth 100 million yuan are entrusted to a trust company, namely HSBC International Trust. While Anita's mother is only given 70,000 Hong Kong dollars per month for the rest of her life. But the property can be taken if Anita is dead. Then on September 5, 2003, Anita publicly announced to the mass media that she was suffering from cervical cancer. She also mentioned things about the distribution of her inheritance. In her interview, Anita said that I did not want all of my assets to go to the Mui family, even though in fact, she also shared part of her inheritance with her mother and 4 nieces and nephews. Only 3 months after the announcement, Anita breathed her last on December 30 last year 2003, in a Hong Kong hospital due to cervical cancer. Anita died at the age of just 40 years old. Anita Mui's body was then cremated and her ashes were interred in Polin Monastery Mausoleum, located on Lantau Island. News of Anita's death made the entire Hong Kong community and fans from various countries around the world are sad too. Condolences. During her life, Anita was known as a person who is friendly and kind, so that no wonder she has many good friends. Proven at funeral, there are many. Anita's best friend attended, as well help organize the event. Every year, fans, or those closest to Anita, visit, bring flowers to pay their respects, and offer prayers at Anita's final resting place. But this was done for only a few years, because Anita's ashes were no longer there, stored in the Polin monastery. The ashes have been brought home by her mother. So to remember the name Anita Mui in the hearts of Hong Kong people, the government made a statue bronze resembling the figure of Anita Mui. The statue is at Hong Kong Avenue of Stars, located along the coast Tsim Sha Tsui Kowloon area. Besides the statue, along the Avenue of Stars there is also a plaque bearing the name Anita Mui. Even though Anita is gone, her mother, Tan Mei-jin, is still trying to extort all of Anita's property, to the last drop. And Mei-jin doesn't accept that most of her daughter's property has fallen into the hands of outsiders, who are not blood relatives. At the encouragement of her son Mui Kai-min, the old woman, it filed a lawsuit against the trust fund. She demands that all of Anita's property be given to her. Tan Mei-jin opposed the will on the pretext that when her daughter wrote her will it was in an unhealthy mental state. But based on Anita's official will, they will not be able to get what they want, because the High Court stated otherwise, namely Anita was in sound mind when she signed her will. The judge suspected that Anita simply distrusted her mother's financial problems. However, Tan Mei-jin and her son Mui Kai-ming did not give up and continued to sue the trust fund for about 10 years. They told the Hong Kong media that the monthly allowance was not sufficient for their daily needs. Even Tan Mei-jin pretended to say that her financial condition was so critical that she couldn't eat well. Even though the property left by her daughter is quite a lot, she asked the mercy of the people of Hong Kong and Anita's fans, so that they would help voice her wish, which is to get the official right to dominate all of her daughter's legacy. However, Tan Mei-jin's bad acting was soon exposed through the circulation of photos of herself and her sons, who often visited expensive restaurants in Hong Kong. Tan Mei-jin's relentless efforts to advance in court, despite losing many times, ultimately made a company that was trusted to hold the trust fund runs out. There is no more money allotment for Tan Mei-jin. This makes the fund holder, the trust, was forced to sell one of Anita's leftover properties and auction off Anita's property during her lifetime. One of the things that surprised the public, as well as made Anita's fans angry, was the auction of Anita's underwear displayed in the auction glass cabinet. Why can people do that? Who wanted to sell Anita's underwear have heart to do that? Do not respect and honor the deceased at all. Then, who allowed Anita's underwear to be auctioned off? Yes, of course that person is the closest person Anita, that is her own mother. Fortunately, Anita's good friends immediately bought these clothes at high prices before they fell into the hands of others. For then Mei-jin's outrageous actions, Hong Kong mass media called her the most shameless mother. Well, that's all for this story. Hopefully from this story we can learn something. Thank you very much, for those of you who are still watching this video until the end. Well, see you in the next discussion. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Shonia Studio. Have a nice day and see you.